Bo w piątek nie wiem, dlaczego ten mail nie doszedł, więc...
Aha, dobra, dobrze. Dobra, no to na spokojnie. Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, People-to-People Relation between Poland to Indonesia. Dzień dobry. Hello, I would like to welcome to all the speakers and also to Madam Ambassador of Poland, Madam Beata. Thank you so much for having all of us today. And let me welcome Madam Ambassador to give a note, remarks.
Thank you, Erza. Welcome, everybody. Actually, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you panelists, our guests at this webinar dedicated to Poland people-to-people relations. And this webinar is part of the celebration of our Independence National Day. And 65th anniversary of the diplomatic relations. We organize a series of the events called Polish Days 2020. Today's webinar is, I think, one of our really very nice event, as it is dedicated to people-to-people relations. But before my remarks, I would like to welcome our moderator and panelist, Erza, who is our very special guest and very good known in Indonesia. But also I would like to welcome panelists, Piotr Śmieszek, who lives already in Bali many years, and his wife. Piotr is a writer and journalist, so thank you for accepting our invitation. Welcome to Katarzyna Maniszewska, friend of mine, vice rector of the Collegium Civitas. I'm very happy that you accepted our invitation as well. And also welcome Egi Muliana. I see already Egi, our footballer, and I'm so great to see you. And also our colleague from the Polish Tourism Organization. So what I would like to say is simply that I think that the people-to-people relations are so important, not only in diplomacy, but in every aspect of contact and networking of the people, especially in the diplomacy. To know people personally is a cue. So I think that now where the pandemic era is with us, it's quite difficult. So this is it proves that we should really respect and to put emphasize the meaning of the people-to-people relations. I hope that today's panel will bring more information about Poland to Indonesians, but also vice versa to Polish people about Indonesia. I always enjoy every moment when I meet people in Indonesia. So every contact, personal contact, is always so important for me. Not only in Jakarta when I meet people from the different ministries or institution, cultural or education institution, or simply social meetings, but also I really enjoy my travels around Indonesia. I already visited many provinces and islands. I visited in Sumatra, Jambi, South Sumatra. I visited Bangka Belitung. In Java, almost every province in Java, Flores, Kalimantan, South Kalimantan, South Sulawesi. So I visited already many places, and I always enjoy to meet people, because I think that when people are meet together. It's a chance for dialogue. It's a chance to understand each other. It's the chance to know better each other. So it's simply a great opportunity for people for the tolerance, to meet together, to be together. So this is my very general, let's say, remarks. And guys, the floor is yours. I wish you a very fruitful and interesting discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Ambassador. And so let's we begin today conversation to get to know more about Poland as the country and the Polish people and what is so interesting about Poland as a country in Europe. Because as we know, Indonesians like to travel to Europe and they like to go to visit, trying new experience in all different countries of Europe. But last year I had a chance finally for the first time to visit Poland and completely in love and smitten with Poland and the Polish and the culture and the food, the history, and then the rich of the culture. So it's quite an exciting. And today I'm glad that we can share this. In a way, thank God for the COVID situation, because in normal day, we will prefer to just go there directly and have the experience. But because of the situation, we can actually now listen from one to another and about the experience sharing that we will have today. So let's begin with our first speaker of the day, Dr. Katarzyna Maniszka, whom I had the pleasure of meeting last year in October. She is the let me get it right. She is the Vice Rector for International Relations at University Collegium Civitas in Warsaw. And this is one of the most reputable university. And so can you introduce yourself a little bit, Katarzyna?
Sure, of course. Thank you very much. And but first of all, when I saw that the discussion today will be moderated by you, I had to really smile cordially. It's so nice to see you again, and I hope that once this pandemic is over, you will be able also to visit our beautiful country once again. And welcome to Madam Ambassador. And at the beginning, big words of thank you and gratitude to the colleagues at the Polish Embassy in Jakarta for organizing this meeting. Welcome to the fellow panelists and to all our guests and participants today. My name is Katarzyna Maniszewska, and at Collegium Civitas, I'm, as Erza already said, a Vice Rector for International Relations, but I also am a lecturer at the university. And this will also be important for my presentation, as I have the pleasure and the privilege to be the teacher of some of our Indonesian students. So I will be speaking from my own experience, actually, on how the cooperation with the Indonesian, friends, actually, not only students, looks like. And if you allow me, I have prepared a few slides, so I would like to share my screen now, okay?
Okay.
So, as maybe not all of you are familiar with our university, just to give you a quick overview, Collegium Civitas is a non-public university, a rather small one. We have about 2,500 students in total. We are located in the center of Warsaw, in the Palace of Culture and Science. You can see this this building here on the slide. And we are strongly developing our international programs, English language programs. We teach international relations, sociology, management, and journalism and new media. We have about 400 students in our English programs. The students come from 60 countries of the world, which I'm actually very proud of. And among those students, we have this academic year, 13 students from Indonesia. I will speak about the students and their experiences a little bit more later on, but I also would like to mention that we look forward to developing the cooperation with Indonesian academia, not only through student exchanges and participation of Polish students in Indonesia and Indonesian students in our programs in Poland, but also the cooperation with universities. For the moment, and I hope that this number will grow, we have 7 partnerships with Indonesian universities. And of course, I also have to say straight away that the current pandemic challenges are not helping to develop this cooperation, but on the other hand, they also present opportunities. And so with one of the universities, we plan on launching webinar sessions, and students from both universities will be able to participate. So we try to look for opportunities, basically, even in this rather challenging situation, in order to boost the cooperation. Here on this map, you see where our students are from, and as I mentioned, they are also from Indonesia. This is for me, it's an important picture, because as you can see, all of those students, they bring their unique insight, they bring their background, their culture into our multicultural academic community at Collegium Civitas. And the Indonesian students are a very important part of this. And now, if you allow me, that's just 1 minute, I would like to show you a short video that actually our Indonesian students participated in. I hope it works out. Sorry. I need to stop sharing this screen and share maybe the other that I have already opened here. And now you should be able to see the video and also hear the sound.
In the Palace of Culture and Science, in the heart of Warsaw, the dynamic capital of Poland, there is a university.
Welcome to Collegium Civitas. It is more than just a university. For me, Collegium Civitas means
tolerance, multicultural dimension,
the most supporting atmosphere,
the newest trends in higher education,
engaged, great people
who think out of the box,
proactive, open-minded,
inspiration,
diversity,
tolerance, development,
fascinating,
international atmosphere,
experiences,
high quality of education,
integrity,
empowerment,
real excitement,
creativity,
opportunity,
and the best students ever.
From India,
Kazakhstan, Zambia,
Belarus,
Spain,
China,
Nigeria,
Ukraine,
Indonesia,
Zimbabwe, Mongolia,
Kenya, Germany,
Turkey, Pakistan, USA,
Serbia,
Argentina, England, Poland. Cool place.
So I hope that this short video gives you a small glimpse into our university and also our diversified student body. With Indonesian students, of course, being an important part of it. No, there we were. And so what do Indonesian students choose to study at Collegium Civitas? Here you have a list of these specializations. As you can see, they are very diversified. This is international business on the one hand, which I think is very important also with regard to the economic cooperation between our countries. We need those new leaders who will understand the respective country, and who will also already have contacts there. They also, during the studies, have the opportunities to network. I am sure it will be a huge advantage for them later on the job market, when they will really be engaged in conducting projects and business with Poland. And then very popular among Indonesian students is our specialization in social media management and digital commerce. And I think this is one of these specializations that gives those competencies of the future, basically. And so we're really proud to have Indonesian students also there in this specialization: international peace and conflict studies, international security studies, and international relations. We cooperate closely, and we're proud of this cooperation with the Polish Embassy in Jakarta. Once again, a big thank you to Madam Ambassador and the staff of the embassy, as well as with the Indonesian embassy in Warsaw. And here also my gratitude to Madam Ambassador Siti Nugraya Mauludia and her staff. They are simply terrific and helping us a lot in organizing many events that are there to meet to build these people-to-people relations. As a university, we wouldn't be able without those partnerships to reach out to, well, new audiences, let's say, and to meet not only students, but also colleagues from Indonesian universities, for instance, representatives of Indonesian organizations, institutions, and the media, last but not least. And I also have to mention our cooperation with the governor's office. I'm not sure if you, dear participants, are familiar with the scholarship program that the governor launched a couple of years back, but they did, and they fund scholarships for the most prospective Indonesian students to study abroad. And some of the students that receive the governor's scholarship, they are at Collegium Civitas learning with us. This is a very practical program that boosts people-to-people relations. I think that this is one public diplomas, actually. Those relations, they are the pillar area actually. That's of course my opinion, but I hope some of the participants at least will agree with me on that. Here, on, for instance, the help of the Embassy of Indonesia to this seminar with patient of Ambassador Warsaw. And here on this slide, you can find, of course, the full text on the website of our university. But the information, one of our Indonesian, Subhan Yusuf. Another example, to visit the to host the National Resilience Institute at Collegium Civitas. So here you have another area of cooperation between think tanks or institutions that deal with a very specific area, thematic area. Dr. Dino, but for our students, it was a great opportunity to really network and to speak to, and well, one of the best experts in the field of foreign relations. Dr. Dino presented the Indonesian perspective on certain security case. What is the interaction between our students and participants in the events and our guest experts? And this actually works out. And it's sometimes a unique opportunity to speak to the leaders, to decision makers, to renowned experts from all over the world. And oh, sorry. And last example that I would like to mention is the visit by the representatives of Indonesian media outlets, including, of course, ERZA, that visited our university and had a chance to speak with our Indonesian students to find out more. And I hope that the students were honest and were speaking from their hearts, but they really said that Warsaw felt like the second home of theirs. And I think that's the best actually recommendation we can get as a university also. And now what we also do or how do we try to enhance this cooperation? Basically, we see ourselves as Collegium as friends of Indonesia. We are interested, a lot of us actually, not only me, are interested in history, in the culture of Indonesia, in the language. In cooperation with the Indonesian embassy, we run Bahasa Indonesia classes at Collegium Civitas. I even tried to learn Bahasa. I failed, I must admit, but I will try. I will not stop in my efforts, and I hope I will succeed one day. We promote programs, especially those aimed at youth, such as the Indonesian Arts and Culture Scholarship, or Bali Democracy Students Conference, and other events. Here, of course, this cooperation between us and other institutions, from those institutions, and then just try to promote it among our student body. Also, the educational fairs are an important platform to meet people and get to know people. And speaking of that, actually, in a couple of days, there will be the next edition of the European Higher Education Fair in Jakarta, held online this year. So I cordially invite all of you, of course, to participate. And to spread the word about the fair. Collegium Civitas will be represented there as well, along with many other Polish universities. And something that I would like to end up with this presentation is on a more personal note, namely the travels. And I'm actually also a travel writer, and I travel a lot. And Indonesia is one of my favorite countries. I think I spent in Indonesia backpacking on the islands about 3 months already. And I would like to conclude with that. A journey is best measured in friends rather than miles. I love this quote to the cooperation between the countries, and I think the case of our university bears the best testimony to that statement. And on this picture, that's actually me in Sulawesi with some of the new friends. Thank you very much for your attention. Terima kasih. Dziękuję bardzo.
Terima kasih, Katarzyna. That's a very nice presentation. Just a quick question about that I would like to ask. How do you see Indonesian students as human resources? Do you find them with big potential and with such quality that can competing in the European market for the future?
Definitely. They are the new leaders. They really are. The students that I had the pleasure to work with at Collegium Civitas, they are among the best students ever, like in my teaching career. They think out of the box. They eager to learn. They even do the homeworks, and it's not that obvious. Trust me. So yes, I'm sure there will be a very using this language, a very valuable resources, and not only when it comes to business. Yes. Not only when it comes to business, but also diplomacy, those efforts. But last, definitely not least, also in terms of security, you have seen that our Indonesian students, they study also peace and conflict studies, international relations, security studies. They will be prepared to effectively counter those hybrid security challenges that are emerging these days in our globalized world.
Okay, last question I would like to ask you. How is it if there is any of our audience here would like to apply to be the students in your university? What will be the steps?
Of course, you're welcome to contact me personally and I will guide you. But the best way would be to take a look at our website. That's
Or is it on the website?
civitas.edu. Yes, if I have to attach the documents that are needed, you have to be prepared for an interview because we normally conduct interviews as well with the candidates. But other than that, I invite everyone to study with us.
Okay, then you have heard it from Dr. Katarzyna Maniszewska about a little bit on how to study in Poland and why it's so good, and they are welcome for Indonesian. And I think I met some of the students there. They're actually coming from Lombok Island. Great congratulations for the governor of Lombok to do this cooperation Civitas, and look forward to come back one day and
Thank you.
And now I would like to move on to the next speaker. This is
Hello? I'm on
yes.
already.
I'm
Okay.
back. Hi. Sorry, the internet is a little bit up and down today. Okay, I hope you can see me again. So now let's move on to the second one. This is a lovely couple that I would like, I'm very excited to talk with them. I would like to welcome Piotr Smiszek and the lovely wife Arun. And Piotr is coming from Torun in Poland. So Piotr, what brings you to Indonesia? How do you guys meet? I mean, do you meet in Indonesia or you meet in Poland?
We met in Indonesia in the seminar Computer Science and Business in 2008.
Okay, so for those of you who doesn't know, Piotr Smiszek is actually a book writer. Is writing about Bali and Lombok, and the title of the book is Bali Lombok, the Archipelago of Disappearing Islands. And Arun, wife, is the owner of Lombok Tour and Travel. Any reason why you choose to Lombok? I mean, I'm a big fan of Lombok. I just came back last week, so.
Piotr is fans of the beach, and it was a nice beach in there, and we thinking to live in there before, and it was a very nice ethnic after Bali in our opinion. So we wanna move our life there. But since we have kids, the developing of education and the hospital in 2009 is still not start. So we decide to move to Yogyakarta.
Both based in Yogyakarta.
Small correction, we not living in Bali, we living in Java Island in Yogyakarta.
Okay.
I would like to welcome everybody and thanks to Embassy of Poland for this invitation. It's nice to be in this webinar.
So, Piotr, what brings you to Indonesia in the first place?
It's a long story. Maybe I will introduce myself in the short speech. I'm graduate in marketing and management in Torun University, Mikołaj Kopernik. And after my graduation, I continue my education in the doctoral program. And I didn't finish it. I quit after 3 years and I start my own business. And this business brought me to Indonesia in the year 2001. There is some disconnection, I don't know. Okay. So the first time I touched Indonesian ground in 2001. And I can say that this is the beginning of my big love, and I'm loyal to this love until today. The first visit to Indonesia was rather in business way. So I didn't know much about the culture, about the islands. I just knew some simple stories from the travel books, from adventure books about the Java Island, about Bali or Papua. But step by step later, especially after I met my wife, I start to understand Indonesia more from deep inside about the culture, about the religious principles, about the the things which are hiding when you coming just as a tourist.
And what brings you to make that book about the Lost Archipelago? That's very interesting.
Also, the long story. On the beginning, when it was the year maybe 2007, I have a friend of mine from Poland, which is the owner of the travel agency, and he was also the owner of some travel magazine. And once he asked me to write some article about Sumatra, and also asked me for help for leading some small Polish tourist group. And I said yes. And after this task, I realized that this is something what I like to do. This is something what I wanna do. And this is how our company start, how my books about Indonesia get written. I discover Indonesia step by step, island after island, and this is how the idea come to my mind.
How do you see, as a Polish, coming to Indonesia, which is completely a different everything from what you have in Poland and to what we have here, and how do you deal with that as a Polish living here in Indonesia? Is it difficult for you to adjust it?
To be honest, not so much. It's some stories which are quite weird for me on the beginning, like I don't know, like I can point eating habitats, for example. So I was surprised that people in Indonesia eating lunch 3 times daily. They're eating lunch for breakfast, lunch for dinner. You can always find the rice or noodle with something extra on the plate. In Poland, we did it in different way. Another thing which is quite weird and strange for me, that the people you met first time in your life, after 5 minutes, asking you deeply for the personal matters, or they doing private investigation. But now, after years, I know this is just Indonesian soul, Indonesian heart. The people just very normal in here, so it's like that.
Yeah. So now my question goes to Ibu Arun. Ibu Arun, how challenging, or was it difficult to have an adjustment to marry with a Polish guy, and then it's a different culture altogether, different tradition. How do you deal with that situation?
Oh, it's need 2 years to understand well.
To adjust. Wow.
So first of all, the Polish have cold breakfast. This is for me make my stomach strange because like my father-in-law make for me breakfast bread with the cold fish. This smoked fish, and this is for orang Indonesia. This is, oh my God, we need warm breakfast. And the second for me, the strange is about this galaretka. Did you ever try the traditional food? This meat or fish they put inside jelly. This is until today is very hard to accept in my tongue. And in the about the things which is similar with Indonesia is the Polish people very friendly and still connected with their grandparents, with parents. Some of them even living together. So it's quite good for make connected between Indonesia and Poland.
So it's a family oriented, yeah?
Very nice and not so hard because my husband also traditional person, so it's big.
So that was about your company, about
you're asking about what is similar between Poland and Indonesia. I can tell you what inspired me also. It's the people around the world always dreaming about discover time machine or have eternal youth. And in my eyes, Indonesia, it seems it's look like Poland 20 years ago. So in effect, I can say I find my own time machine in Indonesia, and I can have what the people are only dreaming about.
Is that how do you sell Indonesia to the Polish people?
No, it's, I still feel the same. So that's why I wanna sharing about this. Yeah. But another story on the beginning of my adventure in Indonesia, I was thinking that in Indonesia everything is very easy, like Hakuna Matata from the Lion King movie. That don't worry about tomorrow. No, everything is no problem. But since we have families, since we have kids, we have daily problems. I see that Hakuna Matata changed to reality, and the grass is always more green in the neighborhood. So life everywhere looks the same. So it's just like that.
In your opinion, now that you've been living in Indonesia for so long and having an Indonesian family, when I was in Poland, I realized that many people there only know Bali. So how do you, in your way, to share the awareness about Indonesia to them, to tell them that Indonesia is more than just Bali?
Some people even thinking that Bali is another country. Many people who traveling to Indonesia thinking they're going to Bali. They're asking, do Bali have the same currency as Indonesia, or do they speak the same language, etc. So this is my pleasure and my hobby to sharing about another islands, to sharing to the Polish people, and to let people know that Indonesia have still many, many treasures, maybe much, much more good and much more precious than Bali Island. That's
now,
why
yeah.
we choose Java, we choose Jakarta, because in my eyes, this Javanese culture, Javanese spirituality, Javanese way of living is very, very interesting, and more interesting than Balinese life. For me,
now it's the opposite now. What do you like the most about Poland and the Polish culture now that you married to one?
Okay, so it's about the cemetery. Maybe not for
the cemetery.
Yeah, the cemetery. They care their cemetery very, very well. And every 1st November, all the family gather together and cleaning and make pray together. This is very, very nice for me. And some of the art culture like Vicinanki, this about this cutting paper is very, very beautiful for me. And the food, now is in the picture, you see in the children clothes, t-shirt, this is Vicinanki style. So this is the paper cut. This is for me very beautiful. And also the castle and some of the building, very, very old, make me amazed. Always so deep the culture is, and they care so much. And same with our Borobudur, we need to care the same to make people also will know forever. And the language too hard for me to learn, but after 10 years I can speak with my family in Poland, understanding, but maybe wrong grammar.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Piotr and Ibu Arun, for sharing about your lovely family, about your experience in Indonesia, and also about how you two can synchronize together being a mixed marriage couple. And we hope to see more books coming from you, Piotr, in the future. And
the table.
Until then, thank you. Yeah. So now let's move on to our next speaker. And this one is exciting because he is a renowned athlete, Indonesian athlete, Egy Maulana, a famous footballer who now actually part of Lechia Gdańsk with the Polish football club. Hi, Egy, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you? Hi, everyone.
I'm very well, thank you. And let me apologize for a little bit. The internet is a little bit up and down, so just be with us because it's still going on. And Egy, tell us about how did you join with Lechia? What made you choose that one?
The first thing I have some club in with my agent. We talk with my agent, with my parents, with everyone who close to me. We have some club in Europe, and then this is the way what I want. I want also play in Europe from my child. I have a dream. I want to play in Europe. So the time is coming. When I'm 17, they said to me, Egi, we have some club in Europe. And first thing I say, oh, this is my dream. I want this. I want this. And then we choose in here in Lechia Gdańsk because of, I think, Polish player and then Polish league. It's so physical. They're big and they strong. They fighting. And then my agent told me, this is the what I want, what I need. I need to physical. I need to fight. I need to make strong everything before I'm ready to play in the other Europe. So I need to make physical better and better until I can fight with them, and then I can move to the other Europe if I'm ready in here.
So for those of you who might really know who is Egi Maulana is one of our famous athlete star, and he is an award-winning football player, and now he's joining in Lechia Gdańsk. How would you like to live in Gdańsk? I envy you because I've been to Gdańsk last year, and it's such a beautiful city. I envy you to just live there. How do you find Gdańsk as a city to live?
I like it so much in here because the people, they are so nice to me. Then they help me so much. They help me everything. But it's weather. The weather also, when winter is coming, it's so cold in here. Oh my God, a bit different from Indonesia and Poland. And then also language. Oh, it's really difficult, to be honest. I learned
Polish now.
No. But sometimes, if on the pitch, I understand what they say, but I don't know how to speak because, to be honest, it's so difficult for me. I learned many times, but still, I just know small things. But on the pitch, okay, I understand what they say, so I think it's enough for me because I just need to be understand what the coach say and what my friend want, and this is important for me.
So, but what about social life there? Do you have friends? I mean, like, coming from Indonesia, you're always surrounded with people. And in Poland, is it easy to make new friends there?
Friends from Indonesia, sometimes I know some people from Indonesia in here because we pray Sholat Jumat in here. So sometimes I meet them. And then sometimes they cook also Indonesian food for me when I get free, and then they asking me, you get free or no? And after, yes, I get free, and they asking me, you miss Indonesian food? And of course I miss, I say, because I will back in Indonesia. It's like one year, one time or two times. Then they cook to me and I eat in here. But if friends in here, they are so nice, so easy for me. You need to just speak with them and be friend with them, and they will help you a lot. And I like Polish people. It's not big different Indonesian and Polish people, I think.
What is it that you gain in Lechia Club by joining Lechia Club? Is it a new technique, a better system in terms of your football career?
From my mind, it's a lot of different Indonesian and Polish club. Of course, facilities is the best thing in here, and in Indonesia we not a lot of facilities. And then I learn about tactical, I learn about skill, mentality, of course, from them. And this is I didn't get in Indonesia, but I get a lot in here. This is make me a surprise and like, oh, I'm so lucky to play here, and I need to learn. I need to work hard more than everyone to make myself good, and I will be ready for the next challenge.
Was it difficult to be Indonesian, Asian, and Muslim in the European country?
For me, this is about tolerance. But if everyone tolerance to you, and it's nothing a problem. And then in here, I get friends. I get everyone in here. I get people who get a nice tolerance. They know me, and I know them. So it's nothing problem for me. In my mind, it's nothing problem. It's easier.
Now, last question. What kind of advice or message that you can share for all of the future talent from Indonesia who would like to follow your step? How can they follow an international dream like you?
To be honest, I'm not successful also yet now. So I need to make a lot of learn. I need to make a lot of things also in here. But maybe I can tell to them like, if you focus on your point or on your dream, so just work hard for that, and maybe you will get failed sometimes or what. But the things you must to do is don't give up and focus on your point, and do work hard from work more than everyone.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Egi. That's a very good message. Yeah. So, by the way, to all of our audience, if you have question, you can type it down to the chat, and then after this, we will have some quick question and answer moment. But before we go there, I would like to welcome our last speaker for the day, and this is the fun part. We keep the best for last, and this is about tourism. I would like to welcome Miss Emilia Shiranka, which is representing from the Polish
Good afternoon
tourism.
in Indonesia. Good morning in Poland.
Hi, how are you, Emilia?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. And we are excited to have you because tourism is something that we all love, and Poland is quite a destination for us because it's not yet promoted more compared to the other country. And I've been doing it so much since I went there last year, and I just need to go back and see more because it's such a beautiful country and so many things to see and to experience. Now, what can you share us about the tourism? I mean, like, what is the new one? Or because we need to have a plan after COVID when it's all back with the new normal and we can travel again. We would love to see where we can go and to experience. So what can you share with us today?
So today I would like to bring you a little bit Poland to you because, of course, nowadays we can't travel. And it's a big pity for both of us because Polish people love Indonesia. And I think, in fact, much more Polish people travel to Indonesia than from Indonesia to Poland. So for today, I would like to show you a little bit about my country. Of course, we don't have enough time to discuss and to present all of the attractions because Poland is a quite big country in the Europe. But I would like to show you the most interesting facts and most important ones. So what's unique about Poland? Okay, we can start our presentation. So Poland is the place that you can find the European largest red brick castle from the medieval times. Poland is a place when you can explore a unique underground salt city, Rolowieliczka salt mine. Poland is a place when you can find the biggest sand dunes in the Central Europe. So in Central Europe, in Poland, we have a real desert next to the seaside. Poland is also a place when you can visit the last complex of primeval forests in Europe. And what is more interesting, you can meet the king of the forest, which is European bisons. And this is the biggest mammal in Europe. And the largest population of these mammals lives in Poland. So Poland is situated in the Central Europe, as you can see in the really heart of Europe. So I think when you travel from Indonesia to Europe, you plan to visit few countries, 3 or 4. So Poland is a fantastic location because it's a really center. And now I would like to show you about main tourism products. So first of all, in Poland, we have many various cities. Yes, please stay with this slide. We have many various cities, cultural, creative, and many of them are very international environment. There is no problem with English speakers. So if you would like to visit any museums, any tourist attraction, there's no problem with the communication. We can move to another slides. We have 16 attractions entered into the UNESCO World Heritage List, and the majority of them are situated on the south of Poland. You can move to another slide. And on this slide, you can see 4 of them. So the first one is the church in Małopolska, because wooden churches are very typical architecture for churches situated in the south Poland. On the right side, in the upper corner, you can see Krakow, one of the most beautiful and romantic places in the Central Europe. Also, the old town of Krakow is listed on the Heritage UNESCO site list. On the left side down, you can see the Centennial Hall in Wrocław. Wrocław is a city also which is also situated in the South Poland, and this Centennial Hall is a fantastic example of architecture at the beginning of the 20th century. And on the right side, lower corner, you can see Wieliczka Sołtman, which I already mentioned at the beginning of my presentation. Okay, you can move to another slide. So Poland is a fantastic place to experience a different type of nature. We have mountains, we have sea, we have beautiful forests, beautiful lakes. This is fantastic option if you would like to enjoy the nature, to deep and immerse in the wide environment. Poland has very various nature, and trust me, I think when you travel to Poland, one of the best idea is to see one of our national parks, especially on the south and the north of Poland. Poland has many different castles, different cultural and historic attractions. As you can see, our castles are quite impressive, and in Poland, I think we have around dozens and hundreds different castles to visit. And what is more interesting, many of them are very well redecorated and restored. So you can organize accommodation, you can stay inside of the castle. So I think spending one night in this kind of historic value, it's quite interesting. As I already mentioned, Poland has fantastic various of nature. So, and this is the, it makes it fantastic possibility to make active tourism. Poland is a great place for climbing, for hiking, for kayaking. So no matter what way you prefer to enjoy the nature and to do sport, I think Poland is also the best choice for you in the Central Europe. Of course, after doing some sports, it's worth to rest a little bit. And in Poland, there is more and more popular spa and so-called well-being movement. Our spa and resorts are still developing, and in Poland we can find many different places when you can see and you can enjoy the different microclimate, which is very good for your health and for your mental being. So it's still developing in Poland, and the quality of this kind of services are very good. And of course, taste. Poland is a fantastic place to experience different type of cuisine, because we have 16 different regions in Poland, 16 different województw, and each of them presents different kind of culinary, different kind of tasting experience. And no matter if you're looking for some traditional meals, which are very lavish and you feel very full after eating this kind of quantity of food. And can we move to the previous slides? So no matter if you would like to enjoy your traditional meal or you looking for some kind of fancy food restaurant dedicated to the foodie, Poland is very good for it. Okay. And what is, I think, very important nowadays, Poland was listed among top 25 safest countries in the world. Of course, nowadays we can't really travel outside of Asia because of the coronavirus crisis, but I hope that after next year the situation will be changed, so you will experience, you will be able to experience the Polish hospitality and to Polish atmosphere. Okay, and at the end of my presentation, I would like to invite you to travel to Poland and see this short video about the most beautiful places in our country. you for more information, I inviting you to see our website, Poland.travel, when you can find our brochures and more infos about the beautiful Poland. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope see you in Poland in the next year.
Thank you, Emilia, but don't go first. I have a few questions for you. And anyone in our audience, if you have any question for Emilia, please write down in our chat place, and then I will ask her the question. Okay, we have one now coming from Mulia Fitriani Behaki. Hi, I'm Mutia from Indonesia, studying in ecotourism in ITB University. Have a question to Miss Emilia. How is the strategy and how the Polish government increase tourists, especially tourists from Indonesia? Are there many tourists from Indonesia coming to Poland, and what kind of popular tourism in Poland, whether it's culinary or mass tourism? Is there any Polish cultural center in Indonesia? Well, that I can answer. Unfortunately, we don't have a cultural center in Indonesia yet, but you can come to the embassy and they will provide you with a lot of information. But Emilia, maybe you can answer Mutia.
Of course. So when we talk about the travel market, the markets which have a priority for our strategy, we always think at the first thought about the market where we have the direct flight connections. So, and nowadays, fortunately, I think we will focus much more on European markets because we can travel inside of the Europe. If the situation will be more stable next year, we will think about Asian markets, but still about this market where we have the direct flight connection. In the last year, the main Asian markets which we are focused on was India and Singapore because of this direct flight connection. How the world will be look like in the next year, we will see, because nowadays you can't predict anything.
Well, based on my experience last year, I actually traveled to Poland directly through Singapore, and it's very convenient because from Jakarta to Singapore, it's only an hour and a half. So, and then from Singapore to Warsaw, it's a direct flight. So it's quite a convenient. It's by Polish airline, LOT.
Yes, yes.
The airline
I think
is called LOT.
Singapore is the best. I think the most convenient hub for direct flight changes. So yes.
What about the next question asking about the culinary tourism or a mass tourism? Do you have like a when you travel to a city and then you have this foodie tour, where you try and sample all this
culinary tourism? Culinary tourism is a big trend nowadays in Poland, and we're still developing our services. As a Polish tourism organization this year, we also were more focused on culinary tourism. We organized some workshops, study tours for journalists, presenting our Polish traditional food, and also culinary tourism are becoming more and more popular on our local market. For example, in Warsaw, we have some new spots for foodies. Also, Warsaw. When we talk about, for example, Warsaw, Warsaw is fantastic. We say that Warsaw is the capital for vegetarian people in Poland, because I don't know if you know it, but Warsaw was called as one of the most vegan-friendly cities in the world. Every year we are in the top 10 most vegan-friendly cities in the world, according to the Happy Cow website. So culinary tourism is still developing, and I think the quality of the services in the big cities are very, very good.
What about the trend for the local to go around Poland? Where do they go? I mean, like what you present us is the highlight, which is so beautiful. But as local, for the local market itself, where do they travel within Poland?
So agrotourism is also developing in Poland. Of course, nowadays, this year, agrotourism has a very, very boom because of the coronavirus, because it was much more safer to travel and to stay in the countryside than in the big city. So first of all, agrotourism. Secondly, because of the situation, this year we saw that many people have chosen destinations like little villages not very big cities like Warsaw or Krakow, but in the neighborhood, for example. When we talk about, for example, city which was local, but I see as becoming much more international, it's a city called Łódź, which is a city in the central part of Poland, and very well known for a film industry and industrial architecture, factories, and little townhouses. And for example, Łódź was the city much more popular among the Polish tourists, but in 2019, it was titled as a Best in Travel Lonely Planet City. And now from the local tourist places, it becoming much more international. So I think nowadays, maybe not nowadays, because the situation is very hard for tourism business, for international tourist movement, but many local things are becoming also popular for international tourists. So when we talk about trends in local, after a few years, it's becoming interesting for international tourists also.
And that is exactly like most of Indonesian, when they travel, they would like to know what the locals are doing, what the locals are experiencing, what they're doing, and that is what we look for. Another question
yes, and
is
what I see, sorry for interrupting, what I see is that many people are searching for some authentic places. So of course, it's worth to visit Warsaw, main spot in Krakow. But for example, you would like to enjoy how to make a local cheese in the mountains, or you would like to experience a local feast in the highlands. Yes. So I think the trends will be a little bit changing because people are looking for something local and authentic. And no matter if the local people can't speak English very fluently, there is no problem because you want to experience it. And I think this is the best trend for future to develop.
Yeah. That's good to know, because last time when I was there last year, I'm quite surprised to find out that Poland is one of the capital of the world for amber. And we don't really know much about it, and we love amber. And I was very impressed when we were in Gdansk. We see the whole craftsmanship and how it started, the history. It's very, very fascinating to see how beautiful you do with the amber industry there. And it's something that we also like to see when we travel to see. Another question, that the last one that I would like to ask you, this is for the millennial and the zennial crowd. Where is the Instagrammable spot in Poland? Can you mention a few so we can put it in our bucket list?
Excuse me, could you repeat?
Can you tell us some Instagrammable spot in Poland?
Instagrammable spot, of course. First of all, Krakow, and the district which is called Kazimierz. It is a former Jewish district. It's a very beautiful, romantic, and also best for Instagram. Also, in the central part of Warsaw, in the city center, there is a building called Palace of Culture and Science, and the architecture is typical for the Soviet style architecture. But also, it's a very Instagrammable spot. The desert, so-called desert, so Sowiński Park Narodowy, these dunes on the north part of Poland, which I already mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, is also very Instagrammable because you can take a picture like you are in Sahara, but you don't. Yes. And also, I think Gdańsk and the neighborhood of Gdańsk, because we have many different beautiful places around the cities on the north, and our beaches are covered with sand, and this is I think quite original for this part of Europe. The north part of Europe, in the majority of beaches are covered with sand, so I think also it could be interesting.
Thank you so much, Emilia. I would like to move back to Egy, because there is a question from a fan asking that I'm wondering, what do you think and compare between Polish and Indonesian football supporters? This is a good question. Which one is crazier, Egy? Come on, spill us the story.
I think they are the same crazy. the supporter also in here, they are militant, I can say this, but still, if we make different, if still a match in Indonesia about football fans, because in Indonesia they are so crazy about football, because this is our #1 sport in Indonesia. But in here also, I cannot say they are not a lot, but they are so good, and a lot also they are crazy also. So not big different. They are the same crazy, and then the same is okay. Let's say this is similar. But they are they are crazy, and then they are support a lot to player, and they fight also. They doesn't want to lose. Even the player doesn't want to lose. The supporter also doesn't want to lose. They will push you until until you win. That's it.
So they are hardcore but loyal and like die fans. Yeah.
Help you also. They help you a lot. This is the
So
good.
do they recognize you on the street? Do they know that you are part of the football club?
Some fans, yes, of course. They know some player. They know you so in on the street or on the restaurant. Also, if they found you, they will say to you like, "Can we take a picture?" Something like this, and then of course, you can. And it's similar everywhere. Everywhere is similar like this, so it's normal for me.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think we don't have any more question, and therefore I would like to end our webinar today, and by thanking all of our guest speaker today, Dr. Katarzyna Maniszewska, Piotr Smeszczek, and Ibu Arun, Egi Maulana, and Emilia Shiranka. Thank you so much, guys, for participating today and for sharing about Poland and to sharing about the relationship with Indonesia and vice versa. It's very nice to share and very nice to get to know more information or more knowledge about each other. And hopefully this will strengthen the relationship between Indonesia and Poland. It's already 65 years in relationship and way to go more. So thank you again for the Embassy of Poland in Indonesia for having this activity, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Dziękujemy.
Goodbye. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Sama-sama.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, Egi.
Słuchajcie.